He felt like they were leaving him behind, and it was lonely. Zach, who had always been a social creature, was experiencing something he'd never had before. He loved to be with were becoming sources of agony. We'll be hanging out downstairs just watching a movie or whatever, and everything is fine. Then one of them will bring up college, and all I can think about is how I'll be dead. He turned his face away and pinched the bridge of his nose to stop the tears. I cupped his head in my hands and kissed the top of his head. I moved to the couch across from him, took a deep breath, and looked into this brave, weary, and heartbroken boy's soul. And I prayed. I prayed the desperate prayer of a mother who knows her child is beyond the reach of her wisdom. In my head, I screamed, "Give me the words, please, just give me the words." With a clenched jaw, I took another breath, exhaled, and without any words ready, I spoke. "How many kids are in your class?" I asked. "I don't know, maybe around 700, he replied. "Zach, the likelihood of one of them dying within the next few years is pretty good. Think about that. There is a kid in your class who is going to die soon but just doesn't know it. You know you're going to die, and you have a pretty good idea of when. You have the advantage of preparing your soul. You get it. That other kid, he thinks he's just preparing for college. So what's really going on here isn't that your friends are moving on and leaving you behind, it's the opposite. You've moved on and have left them behind." He lifted his head, intrigued yet still troubled. "Yeah, but what am I going to do with my time? It just seems so pointless to be doing this stuff," he said, gesturing to his backpack. I was relieved. The words he needed to hear had been given. I trusted there would be more. "You'll have to decide. It's your choice. If graduating is important to you, maybe you can reduce your schedule and just take the classes you need to graduate. If it's not important, then decide how to fill your time. Do you really want to be at home while everyone else is at school? You could get a job or give guitar lessons. You have the freedom to make your life whatever you want it to be without the worries of planning for a big, long future like the rest of the kids." My heart rate quieted as I saw the sadness on his face ease into thoughtful consideration of the possibilities. We kicked around some ideas. He decided graduating was a worthy goal. Should a miracle happen, he wanted to be ready for college. And attending school would allow him to see his friends daily and keep up with their lives. But he didn't want to tie up more time at school than was absolutely necessary. He wasn't feeling great and didn't have the energy for a full class schedule. We hammered out a plan that he felt good about. A later starting time and a pared-down schedule. I said a silent thank you to God for giving me the words Zach needed to hear. He wanted to be happy, and when he couldn't do it on his own, he was perfectly willing to let someone throw him a rope. I am grateful I got to be on the end of it every so often. Zach went into that second day of school with a plan and a renewed sense of what he was doing and how it was going to go. I wish I could say it was easy flying after that. It wasn't. He came home the second and third days much like the first, discouraged and broken. I continued to throw desperate prayers up to heaven, and heaven continued to respond. "Zach, remember where you live. Remember this small space," I said as I used my thumb and forefinger to measure out an inch and then drew a vertical line up and down in front of me. "You are here, in the present. Yes, you have cancer, and yes, you will likely die from it, but not today. Today is where you need to be. Not tomorrow, and not 6 months from now. Just today." That gesture, 2 fingers measuring a thin space in time, became a code for us over the next several months. We used it to encourage each other when things were tough and we needed to reset our thinking. Keep it in the present and leave the future in the future. 1 month into his senior year, Zach was in a good place emotionally. He had figured out a routine that worked for him and had gained some measure of peace in the belief that God had a plan that was bigger than him. Zach knew his suffering had purpose, even if he didn't see the reason. He was waking up cheerful and whistling in the shower again, one of my favorite sounds, second only to his strumming on the guitar. We were driving home after